Does that sound not get better and better every time? God damn. In the Paddock F1, Greeny the Cheese. It's an off week, so that means it's an In the News special from Green Toby. The land where the beer flows like wine, and the wine flows like beer, and that cannabis grows as far as the eyes can see. Look at it out there. Green and luscious, and we have been partaking on the off week, let me tell you. But as I said, it's in the news special, since we got no racing this week. I got some stories for
you. Stories. We like stories. There's a lot going on in the world of Formula One, maybe on the track, as we're not on the track this week, but we're off the track. So plenty of off-the-track stories going on, including the Formula One movie pre-release. You got the first bunch of reviews out. You got the Ed Sheeran song just came out, just dropped on Insta yesterday. The song Drive, quote unquote, which he was very excited to make with an all-star lineup at the recording studio there. And yeah, so maybe it'll be the song of the summer. Maybe rock and roll is back. I don't know. Movie, some mixed reviews, mostly on the positive end so far, but we haven't had wide release just yet. We got a couple other things going on. We got some contract extensions to talk about. We got some disses to talk about. That's right. McLaren's saying, we don't need to return your calls. So we'll get to all of that. But first, we have to lead off with the Formula One movie. Brad Pitt in Austin yesterday at the Circuit of Americas, driving in a McLaren, taking a lap around. Actually, this first time ever in a Formula One car. He surprised the movie audience out there for the pre-release premiere. Surprised a bunch of people out there in Austin, Texas, and at the premiere. Yeah, good times apparently had by all. Obviously, it's very exciting at first, but we'll see what the reviews say coming up. You have your ticket, sir, in IMAX, as you must see it.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on everything
I'm
in the
excited for
hullabaloo?
It looks like it's going to be a fun damn movie. The visuals look insane, so I look forward to see it in IMAX, and of course I'm going to see that thing as soon as possible. Hell's
Unfortunately,
yeah.
we did not get any pre-invites or invites to any premieres on our end, unfortunately. But, you know, maybe in the future. Maybe in the sequel. Apparently, Jerry Bruckheimer is also already talking about a sequel. So they are trying to make as much cash as possible in this opening weekend coming up as, we head into Austria coming up next week. All right, there is plenty of other news, plenty of other stuff going on, Cheese. I know you have a whole slate of items to talk about. What else you got, sir?
All right, we'll go to the meatier ones a little bit later. But first off, James Vowles signed a long-term deal to stay with Williams. To be honest, you probably kind of saw that was going to probably happen at this point, so not really surprising.
Yeah, I would say not surprising. Maybe surprising if it happened before the season started. I would say it would be much more surprising than it is now. He's definitely had some more success. Obviously, there's definitely mechanical issues and things to work out. But Williams could easily be the fifth best team. They probably are. And that's definitely a coveted spot there. And you never know what's going to happen with a Red Bull, or if Max Verstappen leaves, Red Bull could be in the absolute crapper, because I think he's holding that team together, and they can move up maybe to fourth potentially if another team slips out there. So Williams definitely putting himself in the right position, but as well as we've seen in the past with Williams over the last 25 years now, there's a lot of ups and downs with this team, and they could go in a different direction. But don't let the name fool you. James Vowles has a just ton of experience. He's got an incredible resume, and
Mm-hmm.
We're all rooting for him, and he had a rough one last year. So good for him getting that extension. And he's young too. What is he, 42 or something like that? So he's got a
Something, yeah.
lot of stuff in front of him, and apparently everyone on the team likes him. He gets along with everyone over there at Williams. So a legacy team continues, and way better than they were years ago. Not too long ago when they were in dead last constantly. So definitely ain't there anymore.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, but they seem like, they're going in the better direction they've gone in quite some time now. So,
Quite some.
I mean, quite some time.
10 years.
So, I mean, there's
solid decade since Williams has shown any life.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. It's about damn time too. So,
Probably
especially
since Felipe Massa left.
Yeah,
probably 16 or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no,
probably. That's like 10 years ago now.
And they weren't even like that big then, really, either. Like they were like the leaders of like the mid pack. But I mean, it's way better than it has been the last like
again, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not all the way at the back. They're not all the way at the back.
They're somewhat relevant, and they haven't been somewhat relevant in a long time. And we were rooting for him last year. It didn't work out for them last year. He made the adjustments he needed to make. I'm sure James Vowles learned a ton. Probably had a great season interview to keep the job, because we were talking about he might get canned last year because even though it was his first year, but welcome to the Piranha Club, and you can lose your job at any time in Formula One if you don't perform. So good for him, and I hope continued success for Williams, because any legacy team you'd love to see just do well.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Next story here. Despite local resistance in Madrid, construction continues on the circuit that might not be finished in time, because it's like beginning stages here, boys and girls. Like beginning stages.
Like I said last episode,
maybe we'll be heading back to Imola next year. Maybe we'll be heading back.
Listen, there are plenty of tracks that can handle that aren't on the calendar next year. So there are not plenty, but I would say Imola's one, and I'm sure I would love to see them go. Stay on the peninsula there, but go back to Portugal and go back to Portimao. That would be awesome.
Portimao. I'd be fine with Istanbul.
Mm-hmm. These are active tracks.
Yeah,
these are active tracks. So there are other options. So I would love to see a one-off race somewhere. I'm rooting for Portimao. Keep it in the peninsula, but Madrid and Barcelona are just there's like a 6-hour drive. It's pretty close together.
Well, you're not going to go to Barcelona twice in one season, so that's not happening. So you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you're going to have originally Madrid and Barcelona on the calendar.
Well, as of right now, it is. But we'll
as of right now, it is. So if you drop Madrid, where do you go?
It don't look like it.
I'm going with Portimao. That's my choice.
It's a good choice. Portimao's a great circuit.
But I'm sure Imola is your number one choice, of course, and that's probably the most probable.
100%.
That's 100%. The most probable if they don't race in Madrid next year.
I mean, I'd be fine, like I said, with Istanbul, too, to get that triple left-hander, which we haven't had in quite some time. What's that, turn 8?
It's been a while.
The triple left-hander.
It's been a while. It feels like it was Constantinople last time we were in Istanbul.
Yeah, it's been quite a...
It's
been a while. It's been a minute.
All right, sir. What else?
What
else you got here?
All right, the final story, which is very interesting one. Nico Rosberg has revealed to Sky Sports Germany that he reached out to Lando Norris with an offer to mentor Lando. But he has said that he has not got a reply from the McLaren driver. I think he should have gave that man a call back and said yes. That's just what I'm saying. Like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, if you want to learn from somebody, I mean, Nico Rosberg did win a title when he was across the garage from Lewis Hamilton, which Lewis was on a run of runs. So, just saying. I think the man can handle some pressure.
I think Nico Rosberg loves the attention. He loves any reason to get out in front of the camera. He's tried a bunch of stuff. If he can do a late night F1 show, he would be the first in line to want that job as the former driver. He loves the camera. He loves the attention, and that's what he does. He retired early, from a Formula One family. And with all of that, he just loves the spotlight and loves the attention. So I think that people in the Formula One world understand that and understand that this is just a ploy for him to get some cheap PR more than actually wanting to help anyone succeed here. That's what I feel in my gut. I really feel that Lando sniffed it out, or Lando's people sniffed it out, and he didn't take whatever bait. Obviously, there's nothing nefarious about it, but
I don't think
maybe
Lando
there is.
picked.
Maybe there's some beef going on there.
I don't think Lando responded to it because Lando thinks that he doesn't need any help. That's what I'm thinking. Number one, right then and there. But I think he probably does need a little help because he doesn't seem to have the it factor. Maybe he can.
You can't get the it factor by talking to someone. You can't get the it factor. If you want to get the it factor,
he needs something.
You can't.
Maybe he has it. Maybe he has it, and that'll just awaken it out of him by having somebody talk to him. I have no idea.
Doesn't.
But I think he probably does need somebody in his corner. I mean, Oscar doesn't need anybody in his corner. His manager is a former driver. So if he needs to talk to anybody, he can just go to his manager or his agent.
You're telling me that there's no former Formula One drivers that are in Lando Norris's corner giving him any advice at all? That Zach Brown hasn't put anyone in his space to help mentor him. The top team in Formula One right now is
doesn't seem like he's being mentored.
Person. He's got the face and he has the skills, but he doesn't have the it.
Does it seem like he's being mentored?
I'd assume everyone. I'm assuming everyone in Formula One, every driver at that top tier is being mentored in some level, in some way, getting some advice from someone. Unless he's that arrogant or confident, or just understanding
he's a Formula One driver. Of course he's arrogant.
I'm in my 20s. I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and whatever happens, happens. That's the difference between the it factor. The guys who were like, I have hundreds of millions of dollars, and I don't care, or I have hundreds of millions of dollars, and that doesn't matter to me. I'm here to win. I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I have the intensity to win. I have the competitive spirit to win. I just want to win. These guys, Michael Jordan, okay, when he was playing in the NBA Finals, would play 36 holes of golf in the afternoon, 2 rounds in the afternoon for cash, just so he can win before going to win some more. He didn't care. He didn't care about winning a couple grand on a golf game when he had the entire world watching him that night. That's the it factor. You just want to win all the time.
Yeah.
Michael Schumacher had that. Lewis Hamilton
Mm-hmm.
still has that. He doesn't have the same
Mm-hmm.
skill set at this point in his career and in his age as a Lando Norris. I'm sure if he woke up tomorrow and Lewis Hamilton was 25 again, it'd be a much different story. But he's not, and he can't. So with all that, yeah, that's really just what it is. But I think Oscar Piastri's the better driver in the end. But Oscar doesn't have the face or the personality that Lando Norris has. He's not at a central casting. Lando Norris is like at a
No.
central casting. If you were making a Formula
Yeah.
One movie, right, and Lando Norris was not a driver, you might pick him at a casting call to put into a car.
That's fair.
Oscar Piastri is less out of central casting.
Mm-hmm.
But Lando does have elite skills.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Elite skills. Okay, so like we're mincing like top 25 drivers of all time, and Lando Norris at the end of his career could fit in somewhere in the back end of that potentially, but he's probably not going to fit anywhere in the front end of that. Right? Is that fair?
Uh-huh.
Is that fair?
That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely
Like
fair.
just if you
right
take a
now.
step back. But Oscar Piastri could finish in that top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Could.
Mm-hmm.
Or Max Verstappen could win another driver's title. I guess that's why they race on Sundays.
Max Verstappen can absolutely still win another driver's title.
Absolutely. And that would make it so damn interesting because we haven't even got to, McLaren's kind of, I wouldn't say step back, but kind of a half a step back as these McLaren 1-2s are not raining down as we may have expected, or McLaren may have expected after their hot start and big lead. So it could be interesting. McLaren's got to have some, a couple more 1-2s here to I mean, they're probably going to win the constructors, but to really show their absolute dominance, they're definitely not as double
Not
podium
right
heavy.
now, no. They're definitely not stepping away, and other teams are definitely have caught up a bit. I mean, Max is still Max. The car can be, we've had this discussion since last year. I mean, the car can still be Duff, and Max will still will that thing to victory. It's just, I mean, Schumacher did that when he left Benetton and went to Ferrari. I mean, the Ferrari was a joke then, but at certain points he would just will that thing across to win a race. So, I mean, you can never count them out. You can never count Max out. I mean, plain and simple, you can't. You could put him in the back of the grid car, and he'd still somehow probably finish top 5.
Yeah, it's just so consistent. He has that factor. He has the factor that Lando Norris doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's he won 4 straight world titles.
He just has it, and I've never seen or heard on radio or just that intensity that Max Verstappen has or Lewis Hamilton has coming out of Lando's mouth. I would say even Charles Leclerc doesn't have that same intensity as him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you switch Leclerc and Lando with the McLaren and the Ferrari, I think you're going to have a much closer competition between drivers at the top there. I really feel that. I really feel that way. I think Leclerc's a better driver than Lando Norris this year, based on their cars.
Oh, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
I think so.
I mean, Leclerc hasn't made the dumb bonehead move that Lando has.
Yeah, I think
And
if they were teammates, if Leclerc and
more than one of
Piastri were
them too,
teammates,
so.
it would be a much, much closer. I think Lando Norris, not Lando Norris. I think Charles Leclerc will be leading the Drivers' Championship right now. But that is what I have to think. I guess that is all hypothetical and fantasy video game world, which we do not play in, we do not live in. We live in reality, sir. And speaking of reality, where are we going next?
And next week we're going to Austria. We're going to those Styrian Alps.
In the Alps, in the mountains. Everyone going up for the weekend. It'll be a long weekend there, starting Thursday. People will be showing up and practice on Friday. We have another sprint race coming up soon. We're not on the calendar. I have to look at when the next sprint is. I think we got.
I know
we
this
got
is
like
the start
4 more
of
left.
This is the start of the next triple header, if I'm not mistaken.
Right on. We'll tic-tac-toe. 3 more in a row. Well, strap yourself
like here, in. Britain. And then Holland, I believe.
Right on. Right on. So, yeah, like I said, tic-tac-toe. Let's do it. Stick with us for everything. And thank you all for listeners, all for listening all around the world. Once again, as we do every week. And always, as always, hit us up in the paddock@gmail.com. Check us out wherever you get podcasts. Tell your friends. And we'll see you next week. Say what you got to say, brother.
I'm sorry. No, it's Austria. It's Austria, Great Britain, and then Spa.
Right on. Classics.
Not a triple header.
Not a triple header. We'll say what you got to say, brother.
We'll see you guys in a week's time from the mountains in Austria. But until then, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.